right, everybody, welcome back to Two Dudes in a Room. Two Dudes in a Room. Well, really, today's only one dude in a room. Zach couldn't be with me today, unfortunately. Schoolwork's kind of bogging him down, which is cool. You got me today. And this is going to be a bit of a shorter episode. And this is going to be our first episode of Beyond the Mic. We talked about that in a previous episode. Kind of, instead of doing the whole comedy aspect, kind of going beyond that and getting a little more philosophical, I guess, is what this is about. Before you turn away, because the funny isn't going to be here, which there still will be some fun. They've got some great stories to tell, but today's going to be talking about experience in an industry that I'm getting more and more familiar with every single day, and that's the entertainment industry. Besides this, I do a lot of stuff on the side that really culminates in the entertainment industry. As well as what I'm studying to go into in the future, it all adds up to the entertainment industry, and what you need to expect when going into this, and what I've learned going into the entertainment industry as a whole. First of all, we besides doing the podcast and all that and the other videos you see on our YouTube channel, I'm also I'm a DJ on the weekends. I'm a trivia host, so I'm around people a lot. And the first thing you need to know when it comes to interacting with people is that everybody's different and not everybody's nice to you. Which that's the rule of life basically. Not everyone's gonna be nice to you, but when you're hosting trivia, when you're a DJ, you're doing this stuff in a bar where people are getting drunk, and that's why you're there. The bar brings you in because they want people to drink more. And so you're facilitating that need for them to buy more alcohol, and people can get rowdy. So you need to be able to get over the awkwardness of talking to drunk people. That was the first thing that I learned. I don't like drunk people. I like being drunk, but I hate drunk people. They're so annoying. But I learned to put on an outer mask that says, "Yeah, buddy. Okay. Yeah, I'll listen to you. Whatever you got to say. Cool, cool." And really, that was the first lesson I had to learn. I had to adapt in this industry, which is really my second point, that you need to adapt every single day. Technology is changing. The way people perceive you is different every single day because you're going to different bars. You're seeing different people, and I don't have a stable place where I DJ. I go from place to place all the time, so I don't really get that chance to sit down with people and have that interaction over a period of time that most people do. Like my boss, he's every single Thursday night he's at one bar. Every single Saturday he's at this bar, and he's able to grow a connection with people. He has competitions and certain songs that he plays at both of those places, and once he does it, people get fired up because they know what's coming. I'm not allowed to do that with what I do because I'm always at a different place. So you really have to learn to adapt to your surroundings. You'll go one place and they want you to play a lot of country music. They'll go to another place and want to play a lot of hip hop. And you need to be on your toes at all times. Make sure you're rolling with the punches when it comes to that. And I've got a pretty good story with that. It was my first time really DJing at a place. I was the karaoke host and the DJ at the exact same time. And there was a couple people there that were really into rap music. I have no aversion to it. I'm a fan myself. But there was a lot of older people in the crowd that just really didn't. They weren't going for that. I was getting a lot of Beatles. I was getting a lot of old country music, like 50s and 60s country music. So I had to dig back in this place, the Wi-Fi wasn't working, so I had to like use the music that was on my laptop, and I had to dig, man, to find some of these songs. I worked with what I could, and when it came down to it, there was really a divide between people. We had a little bit of a younger crowd that was into some newer music, and obviously the older crowd was into the older music, and you had to find that balance of when to play this, when to play that. Keep rolling with those punches. Every minute was like I heard groans from one side and groans from another side, and I did my best to keep both happy. And then come 12:30, all the old people had pretty much filtered out, so I was able to play a lot of stuff for the younger people. And the next week, I was told that the old people came back. So, you know, it's people are gonna have people know they have to deal with if they deal with that when there is that cultural divide, and so if they don't, screw them. It's That's how life goes, I suppose. Another great story I have is I was at a different bar that was there was a much the same thing going on, where there was a girl who wanted me to play this one song. I for the life of me can't remember the name of it. Uh, and I had played tons and tons of newer music, and I was kind of making the older crowd a little bit angry, and so they were. So I started playing some older music, and then I got to that middle ground of like your cha cha slide, all the kind of stuff that like it kind of resonates with most people. And come the end of the night, I still hadn't played that song, and the girl comes up to me. She comes up to the DJ booth, and she says, "Why didn't you play my song?" And I said, "Well, I there was too much other stuff going on. I was trying to make most people happy, and I just didn't have time for it." And she looked me straight in the face and she said, "What gives you the right to decide what everyone in this bar is going to listen to?" She knew I was the DJ, right? That's kind of my job. It's exactly what I'm supposed to do. So people are going to get mad at you. It I used to DJ weddings when during the summer, so when that was a little more popular. It's winter. It's late fall, but you look outside, it's definitely winter now. Uh and you had that where people would get mad at you because you didn't play their song. You know what? Uh, when it comes to weddings, if you aren't the bride, you aren't the groom, you aren't one of those people. You aren't one of the main party. You're just a person who came to their wedding. Screw you. I don't need to make you happy. The people who are paying me are the bride, the groom, the father of the bride, that kind of those kind of people. And as long as they leave happy, I did my job right. I mean, I get it that, oh, maybe you're going to get married and you might want to hire me, but for the moment, this is who I'm working for. They're going to write me a 5-star review on whatever on my website or whatever it is, and they'll leave happy, and that's that's really what it's all about, is making the customer happy. So another thing, like I said, when it comes to trivia is another big one. That's my company's, well, not my company, the company I work for. It's their bread and butter because that goes year round. Whereas the thing we make the most money at, which is DJing weddings and whatnot, that's a seasonal thing. Whereas you're getting a steady flow of income all year round from trivia and people going out to these bars and hosting it and getting that check every single week. And when it comes to that, you don't get people to be that are as drunk at that. So people are a lot more personable. It's a lot more fun to host trivia, I think, because you can bullshit with people. You actually get that interaction. You go up to each table, you're marking their questions, right or wrong, and you get that personal interaction with teams. And that's a lot more fun for me because I know every single week I'm going to be at this bar. Every single week I'm going to be here, and I'm not going to go anywhere else. That's so I know. Oh, I really can grow relationship with these teams over the course of I've been going to the same bars for sorry, I've been going to the same bars for a little over a year now, and I've grown great relationships with a lot of the teams that I go and meet. I got invited to an Oktoberfest party by one of my regular teams. It's freaking awesome getting to know these people. And if you have the chance to do that in the entertainment industry, please do that. There's no greater thing than getting to sit down with a group of people that you know and just bullshit with them. It is phenomenal. I would love one day to work my way up to that shining goal of being a DJ Friday, Saturday night at the same bar every single time. That would be phenomenal. I would love it because I would be able to like grow with the audience and understand what they want every single week. Because where I'm from, the bar on like an average night, sure, it'll deviate a little bit. Like if I go to this said bar on Friday night, the crowd may deviate a little bit, but most people have their Friday night bar. Most people have their Saturday night bar, and being a part of that as a DJ would really uh, allow me to focus on those people and know exactly what they want and create a culture. I guess is what it's really all about. Creating a culture of that bar or that club, whatever you're doing. Not a whole lot of clubs where I'm from. It's we're definitely a bar town. That's cool. I like the bars a little bit more. It's a little more personal as opposed to a club that's the music's blaring and people are just yelling at one another. It's the club scene is a little bit different, and I like the personality of a bar basically, is is what I'm trying to get at. As far as entertainment and me, I'm working towards that in the long run. I'm a journalism major. I'm trying to. I guess journalism is more of an informative thing, but I'd love to be on the entertainment side of that as well. Work on something like uh, the Daily Show or Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. That would be the pinnacle of success for me. Working alongside those brilliant minds, and if it came right down to it, I mean, National Geographic would be great too, telling those stories in a light that most people don't get. They don't get the chance to do that kind of thing, and it would be phenomenal for me as a journalist to be able to overseas and talk about all these things that a lot of journalists don't get the chance to, whether they don't want to or something's holding them back. And trust me, there would be nothing holding me back from if my boss is like, "Hey, you're gonna go to China and report on said and such thing for 8 weeks. You down?" Or I mean, I guess they wouldn't even tell me if I'm down. They would be like, "You're doing it. Go," and I'd be like, "Yes, sir. 100% would love that." So when it comes to stuff like that, dream big is really what I want to talk about because I think I have a friend that I met over the summer, and he put it perfectly. I guess is, you know, you may apply for you might see 10 jobs for a CEO in front of you, and you may get 9 rejection letters saying, "Oh, sorry, we decided to go another way." But if you get one of those, go for it. It's that's you only need one of those jobs, so don't settle. If you see an opening for something higher level and you have the ambition, go for it 100%. That holds a lot of people back because in today's society you see a lot of this there's a ladder to things. You start at the bottom, you work your way up. But if there's an opening, always go for it. That's a like in football, the running back sees a hole, he goes for it. The quarterback sees, oh, there's a hole in the defense, freaking go for it every single time. You you're not going to get many of those openings, but when you do, go for it because at some point they could say yes, and you could be living large. You never miss out on any opportunity ever. It's almost stupid of you. It is stupid of you if opportunity presents itself and you walk by because you think you're not good enough for this thing. There's no reason to believe that you're not any better than the person sitting next to you. If that's for your field or it's something that you're interested in, always go for it. I spent way too much time in my life kind of ignoring those doors, and they would open up for me and I would just walk right by them. Nowadays, I don't miss a single door. If an opportunity presents itself, even for something that I'm mildly interested in, it doesn't have to be something that I'm big into. If it's the smallest thing, I'm like, yes, I will do that 100%. I'm applying, and even if I don't get it, they'll give me feedback as to why I didn't get it, I suppose, and I can better use that for the future. Uh, yeah, so that's a big part of it is understanding that opportunity is going to present itself at some point, and it presents itself in many, many different ways, and you need to be ready to roll with the punches. The entertainment industry, like I said, it's always changing, so you need to be ready to go for it. People are moving in and out of the limelight, and one of those times it's going to be your chance. And whether you take that or not is entirely up to you, I suppose. I I see any kind of opening, I'm going for it. But you may be different, and you know, comment down below. What was a time in your life where something happened and you walked through that door, and it's gonna inspire people. I'm sure of that. Uh, for me, it's I was never really into the whole DJ scene. I didn't think I was gonna become a person like that, or even a trivia host. I didn't think I'd be that guy, but I saw my roommate applied for a position with this company, and I said, "Oh, that'd be kind of cool." And he didn't get the job because he wasn't 21 at the time, and since we're working in bars, you have to be 21. And I said, "You know what? I just turned 21. I'll throw my hat in the ring. I'll go for it." And I was hired almost immediately, and I've never looked back. This is the greatest job I've ever had. Pays the bills. I could put a little money away for the future. It's doing me well right now, and I would have never been there if I wouldn't have said, "You know what? I'll give it a shot." I wasn't even planning on it. I had a job at the time. It was doing me good enough, I suppose. My life has grown exponentially since I've been in this job. I've met some of the greatest, my coworkers are some of the greatest people. I have the greatest boss in the world. Most of the time, I'm my own boss, I guess, because like when it comes to my job, we don't really have like we're not a 9 to 5 business. I don't go into the office, work, leave. I know that this my show is on this day. I go to the shop, I pick up my stuff, I go. I guess I'm not my own boss, but I definitely need to be in charge of me for this. I need to know when I need to be where. And my boss and I have very little interaction, which is, I mean, most of you out there would love, I'm sure. I've worked at jobs where my boss is the worst. I'm not going to point fingers, I guess, but when it comes right down to it, your boss usually sucks. He's weighing you down, putting you in your place. Whereas my boss is like, yeah, we need you to do this, this, and this. And it's always been a step up for me. I started off as a trivia host for like 2 nights a week. He's like, oh, will you do this show, this show, this show? So I'm doing 5 shows a week. And he's like, okay, if you could not do these bars anymore and instead go out and do this karaoke gig, you'd also be a DJ, you get paid a little bit more. So he's never really held me back in any way, and if anything, he's pushed me forward, and I appreciate that 100%. Like 100%, he's one of the greatest guys I've ever known. One of these days, we're gonna get him on the podcast because he's both Zach and I. He's both of our bosses. He's the boss of both of us. That didn't work out. I'll fix that in post. But yeah, he's a super cool dude, and he texts me all the time. When are you gonna get me on your podcast? And I mean, Donnie, I know you're listening, and that's negotiable. We'll see how the next paycheck looks, and hopefully you'll get on there eventually. We'll see what happens. Love you, Donnie. But he's one of the best. He's one of the best of the best. He's won awards as a DJ. He's been, from what I've been told, he's been all over the world. Really great guy. He's gonna be great to be on the podcast. Great interview, I'm sure. And he'll say many of the same things that I'm saying right now. That's you need to go for it. Anytime you get the chance, anytime you get an opportunity, you go for it. From what I've heard of his life, that's pretty much his mantra. He was out in Seattle. He saw an opening there. He moved back home, saw an opening. He opened his own business. His life has been, let's go for it. Let's do this. And I could not appreciate that more. I don't see a lot of people doing that. That's what you need to do. I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. Go for it. Do what you're going to do, I suppose. But really, if you don't take chances, you're not going to get rewards at all. Like it's a gamble. Life's a gamble, 100%. And sometimes you got to double down. Go for it. Bet the house. And you're going to fail. You are going to fail. That's life, though. A lot of people see life as a crossroads, either win or you lose, but it's more of a windy road where you're gonna hit miss, you're gonna hit win, miss, win, miss, win until finally you reach your goal. Failure happens. There's a Thomas Edison quote where he, on the 1,000th try, he finally discovered how to make a light bulb work, and he said, "I didn't fail 999 times. I found 999 ways how not to do it." So you gotta take those chances. You gotta make it. You gotta make it work. You don't mistakes. Remember Bob Ross used to say, "There's no mistakes. There's just happy little accidents." Oh man, I miss that guy. No one's ever gonna capture just the calmness of Bob Ross. He was a great guy. I remember watching his stuff back in the day. He was cool. No one's ever gonna capture that image that he had, and that's really unfortunate. But yeah, the entertainment industry is weird. We've just dipped our toes in with this podcast. Not to brag or anything, but we're pulling out like 7 views, or roughly 7 views per episode right now. So we're moving up. That's it's one of the stupider things I've said on this podcast, but I mean, I have a lot of fun doing it, and having fun is a big part of what you do. If you don't enjoy your work, you're not doing good, bud. You need to learn to go for it. Do what you want to do with your life. It's all about making yourself happy at the end of the day. What makes you happy? Is it the money? Is it the power? Is it just doing something that you love? Which is, I mean, I see this quote or this idea online all the time is, would you rather do something that you love 100% for the rest of your life, but you don't get paid for it, and instead you have to live off welfare and whatnot to to sustain yourself, or for $8 million a year for from 8 to 5, you sit in a white room naked doing nothing? What would you choose to do? Would you rather do what you love, or literally do nothing but get paid a ton for it? I mean, I would personally. I mean, I'm not big on the welfare, so I would probably do the nothing and then use the money that I get. So from in my time off, I can do what I like. I can make this podcast. I can continue to DJ. Whatever I got to do to make it work. And I guess that's my quote of the day. Uh, is as Tim Gunn would say, "Make it work. Make it work." You got to bring out your inner Tim Gunn. I say that daily. Bring out your inner Tim Gunn and make it work. And that's what it's all about. I guess I've said that a lot today. That's what it's all about. But making it work for you and making content that people really want to listen to. And I don't know if I'm the best person to say that because, like I said, we're pulling out 7 or so views per episode. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt. It's this has been an experiment, I suppose. Our first episode would be on the mic. Unfortunately, Zach wasn't allowed to be here, and I miss him already because I miss that conversation that we have. So, Zach, I know you're listening, and you need to get back in the studio, please. I have so much more respect now for like those online creators that do individual podcasts, or like uh, a Let's Play channel where it's only one guy, like PewDiePie. I mean, say what you will about the guy, but being able to come up with content like that in a room by yourself, or Markiplier even coming up with that content in a room by yourself while you're playing a game. I guess he has the game in front of him, so he has more to talk about, but he doesn't just talk about that. He talks about everything when he's playing a game. So, props to those guys for being able to entertain us by themselves, by doing something as simple as playing a video game, and then talking and getting millions and millions of subscribers and views. You guys, you're something else. And shout out to other creators like Jax Films, my favorite YouTuber of all time. And he's making quality content like he is. He's just him in front of a camera. I mean, sometimes he makes his subscribers and commenters do his work for him, and he makes it work. He makes it funny every single time. So good on him. He's working on something right now. I've only seen one video this week from him, so I mean, sorry, last week. Today's already Monday. Good Lord. So get on it, Jackson's. I hear you're putting out a new video today. Very excited for that. So it's a good world we live in. You're able to do what you want if the opportunity presents itself, and take that opportunity whenever you can. I suppose this has been Beyond the Mic, and thanks for listening. I hope you had a great time like I have, and we're going to cut this one a little bit short today, but, it is what it is. So, this has been Two Dudes in a Room.